How long can you disable interrupts safely? Imagine you're working on a microcontroller project and need to protect some critical data. You might think about disabling interrupts to keep everything safe. But how long is too long? That's what we're here to find out. When you disable interrupts, you're telling the microcontroller to ignore all incoming signals that could interrupt its current task. This is useful when updating shared data or hardware registers. However, if you disable them for too long, your system might miss important events like sensor signals or communication data. The key is to keep the disabled period as short as possible. Usually, just a few microseconds or even less is enough. For example, updating a variable or setting a register might only take a handful of CPU cycles. Some microcontrollers automatically disable interrupts when they run an interrupt service routine, which is a small piece of code that handles specific events. These routines are designed to be very quick, often lasting just a few microseconds. Once the routine finishes, interrupts are re-enabled automatically. Disabling interrupts for longer than a few microseconds can cause problems. If your system relies on real-time responses, delays of even a few milliseconds might cause missed deadlines or lost data. For instance, if you're reading data from a sensor that updates every millisecond, disabling interrupts for longer could mean missing a reading. To prevent this, keep critical sections short and avoid disabling interrupts inside long loops or blocking code. Some microcontrollers, especially those based on ARM Cortex-M architecture, allow you to disable specific interrupts based on their priority. This way, you can protect critical code without stopping all other important signals. It's a smarter way to handle multiple events efficiently. In practical terms, if you need to disable interrupts, do it only for the time needed to perform essential tasks. For most embedded systems, this means keeping the disabled period under a few microseconds. Always test your system under worst-case scenarios to make sure you won't miss critical events. Remember, the goal is to protect your data without sacrificing system responsiveness. So, in summary, you should disable interrupts only for very short durations, typically just a few microseconds, to keep your system running smoothly and reliably.